amazing holiday.
Yes, we're at the end of our cruise and we wanted to bring you guys along on the journey, and if you're thinking about a cruise, this is the episode for you. So if you're new to the channel, my name's Troy and it's my beautiful partner Laura, and we're channel bloggers.
Yeah, so our main vlog is on caravan and camping and all things, you know, outdoors and at the farm, but we needed to take a break and we've come over on a cruise.
So 18 nights, we're still together. So strap yourself in. Don't forget to like and subscribe if this is something that you enjoy watching, and you can watch more of our journeys coming up around Australia.
Yeah, so let's get into it. So our first episode was on Hawaii. So we flew Melbourne to Hawaii and we only had 2 nights in Hawaii. But flying over to the US, you actually gain a day. So we got 3 full days in Hawaii.
The jet lag's not as bad either, so you can actually get out and about. It's pretty good.
Yeah, and get straight into it. Hopefully you've seen our episode on Hawaii. If you haven't, I'll put the trailer in now for you to have a look. Is the facts and figures. So obviously you see a lot of people going on holidays, but you actually don't get to find out how much it costs, and what are some of the things that you need to know to make your experience more enjoyable if you are planning a trip overseas or even interstate. So the facts on Hawaii are, it's very expensive.
It is quite expensive, and that's also due to the fact that the Australian dollar is quite bad at the moment. Always one thing to keep in mind when you're travelling abroad, just have a look at what the exchange rate is doing and try to lock in a really good rate, because when you get over there, you really do feel it. When you've got to pay taxes on top of your meals and pay your gratuities on top of that. So it becomes quite expensive, and it's a lot more expensive than how you'd live in Australia. Yeah,
it took us a while to really get into the rhythm of, we're on a holiday and the price, it is what it is, and the tips are what they are. So don't try and keep converting everything back to Australia because you do your head in. So if you've got the money to spend in America, then just spend it.
Just do it.
At the time of when we went, the Australian dollar was equivalent to 60 US cents.
Just on 60.
Yeah,
I think you got it for 58 or something.
I think I got it for 59 and you got it for like 61.
Yeah.
Every time we need to convert something, we'll times it by 60%. Okay. Tipping, one tip for you guys is get some $1 bills out, so in cash. So when you arrive in Hawaii or Los Angeles or wherever you're going, go to the foreign exchange at the airport and change your Australian money to US dollars and get little amounts for tipping.
I'd probably do that in Australia if you're going, because there's not many foreign exchanges in Hawaii. They're pretty hard to find. Get it done before you go. Get some $5 bills, some $1 bills, and then it does make life a lot easier. You can just flick them a couple of bucks or whatever. So
yeah. And you can also use those dollar bills for using the local bus, which is cheap to get around. Yes. Otherwise, there's these trolleys that you would have seen us on in the video, which was $5 a day.
Yeah, and that's cash only.
Yeah. All right, shopping. We did a lot of shopping, which you would have seen. A lot of people commented on the amount of shoes that Troy bought and t-shirts and everything. He bought a lot of clothing. I probably bought a lot of jewelry and accessories, I'd say. A lot of your high-end stores, if that's what you're into, particularly we went into Tiffany to try and get I wanted to get a Tiffany bracelet because I thought it'd be cheaper in America, but it was actually more expensive than Australia.
Yeah.
So the high-end shops were more expensive, but if you want value for money and good quality clothes, your store to go to is Ross Dress for Less and also Walmart.
Yeah, they have good brands. Not so much Walmart, but definitely Ross has some decent brands that and good quality.
Walmart's a bit of a cross of a Big W, Costco, and a supermarket.
Yeah,
it's a bit strange,
yeah.
but if you just want to get some cheap t-shirts and new boardies and stuff, that's fine. Or if you want to get a gun,
yeah, but obviously you can't take
you
that
can go to Walmart.
you can't take that home, so
this is one for you, darling. The Cheesecake Factory cues, and cues in general in Honolulu.
Yeah, it's one thing that I worked out pretty quickly, that cues actually a bit of a design to actually make you think that, oh wow, that place, I've got to get that. A bit of FOMO sort of stuff happening there, because a few occasions I've seen these massive queues and then looked inside and there's like tables galore, and they basically just sort of swan you in when they feel like it. And there could be two reasons. It also could be the fact that they're short-staffed and they're trying to ease the pressure on the kitchen, because the Cheesecake Factory, I don't know if you've ever been there, but oh my God. Like, you'd spend 3 days reading the bloody menu. It's such huge.
Yeah. So don't be fooled by the queues.
Yeah, go somewhere else.
When you get to the airport at Hawaii, there is a shuttle service there called Russell's Shuttle Service. They looked pretty good, and I think they're quite reasonably priced. We actually just got a shuttle through our hotel, but next time we would just go out the front and use them. Flights. So we flew Jetstar direct Melbourne to Hawaii because it's convenient and it's value for money. We did get the plus bundle, so we got luggage and meals and entertainment included. However, next time we will probably fly Qantas, but you do have to go via Sydney, which is just a little bit of a pain. Alright, so they're the facts. We'll take you to the figures. So like we said, $1 equaled to 60 US cents at the time. Now it's about 63 cents. It's going up.
Which is not great, because now we're going to transfer our US dollars back to Australia, so we need that
now
to drop
we just
down.
spend it. To give you an example of cost, 2 meals and drinks at the Hard Rock Cafe cost us 115 US dollars. Now that came to 184 Australian dollars, and we would never spend that much money at home on a night out. Like, we go on date nights, and a date night costs us about $60 for the two of us.
Yeah.
Including drinks.
Yeah, that's right. Unless we go to a fancy restaurant.
Yeah. A cocktail at the Cheesecake Factory, so you would have seen us have cocktails each. It was happy hour when we did that, and at happy hour it was $9 US for a cocktail. This trip cost us a lot of money, and Troy probably doesn't know the extent of the figures. So flights and visas cost us $1,700. Accommodation, $544. This is all in Australian dollars. Travel insurance, you must get travel insurance, $893. And we spent
This will be good.
We spent about $2,500 US in Hawaii.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we did.
It looks like we're not having a wedding.
We ended up rating Hawaii
An 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
The location was beautiful. The beaches are amazing. The shopping is actually really good. It's just different sort of clothing to what we get in Australia. So you always, every shop you go into, you're blown away. It's just bigger. And we would definitely go back. We would just wait for the Australian dollar to be a lot better than what it is to get more value for money. Yeah. So we'll be back to Hawaii for sure. Yeah.
All right. That's a wrap.
Right. We have some very, very rough seas. Hopefully you can see this. Hold on. Double holding on. We were at the front of the ship before watching a show and we had to leave. It was so rough. We're at the middle of the ship now. That's the best place to be.
Oh my God, look at it over there.
So they've closed all the outside decks. Apart from your balcony.
You're not supposed to be in the balcony.
We better go in. If you fell in that ocean, you're gone. That's good night nurse, isn't it?
Okay.
If you fell out in that ocean, you're gone.
Oh, see you later.
Anyway, we're going to bunker down for the night. It's nice to have one last rough night. That's been
Let's see what I bought.
What'd you get?
1, 2, 3. All for the big lot. And I've just got to pack them in here with my under chunders. Cruising. Oof, what a long cruise.
We're actually out of breath a little bit because we've had one golden rule on the cruise is never to take the lifts. So we've constantly walked up and down the staircase, and there's 16 floors, so it actually takes it out of you, especially if you're still carrying a bit of a cold. But anyway, I went down and got another drink, so not too bad.
All right.
So let's get into the cruising facts and figures.
So as we said, cruise was 19 days, so 18 nights, and we arrive in Brisbane tomorrow morning. So we hopped on the cruise at Honolulu, and we did 6 days at sea before we arrived at Tahiti, and then we did 3 days at Tahiti, 5 days of cruising until we got to Vanuatu, and then the fun began. So all up, we've done 16 days at sea because not everything went to plan.
No.
So we have well and truly experienced what the cruise ship has to offer and how to make the most of it.
Yeah, that's right. And you've got to be flexible. If you want to do a cruise, anything can happen. Like on our journey, we've found ourselves, out at sea for so long, which you'd never normally do. So you can whinge and moan about it, or you can make the most of it, and I think we've made the most of it. We're very fortunate that we had a balcony room as well, so if you're going to do one of these longer cruises, probably suggest you get a balcony just in case these sort of things happen. So what actually happened, we weren't able to go to different ports due to the weather. So we went to 2 ports in Tahiti, Papiti and Maria, and the days weren't that great. Papiti was okay, but Maria was a bit windy, a bit overcast, so we didn't do any snorkeling there because we thought, oh well, we're going to go to Rotaya
the next day,
and we'll do some snorkeling there. But unbeknownst to us, the weather just come in, and they couldn't physically get the tenders, the little boats off the side of the ship, into port to take us there.
Got to welcome our followers to Tahiti.
Yeah, baby.
Yay!
The weather was absolutely terrible, so we couldn't get off. The captain made the decision to abort that mission and just to go out to sea and make our way to Vanuatu, Port Vila, and it just so happens that there's a cyclone, Category 5 cyclone, Lola, up the top there, hanging around Port Vila, so we weren't able to stay there either.
Yeah.
So we've had some big sea days.
I guess we understood Rotaya, and then we made our way to Vanuatu, and then we found out we weren't going to Port Vila, And then they said we might go to Mystery Island instead. So everyone got really excited about Mystery Island.
We were excited because that is a beautiful island.
Exactly.
And snorkeling would be amazing there, like unbelievable.
You'd rather go to Mystery Island than Port Vila anyway. And the ship map shows us that we went to Mystery Island, we kind of circled a bit around it and left because he couldn't.
They tried. There's actually a lot of rigmarole that goes in behind changing ports as well. They had to fly someone from Port Vila. So Vanuatu fly some authorities over to Mystery Island to give the all clear for the ship to dock at port and then get the tenders off. And so there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes, and the captain, you know, it's not their fault at the end of the day.
The other thing is the cruise director's on board, and he's constantly trying to make it better for everyone. And the frustrating thing for him is that when we don't go to port, we can't get fresh food. We can't clear out some of the waste and stuff. They can't, you know, there's a lot of things that they can't do. And one major thing was they couldn't get new entertainers on board. So they had all these entertainers booked for Port Vila to go back to Brisbane and offload the existing entertainers, but they couldn't do that. So
no, it's that they've got it tough, you know, and they dug deep. Like not once did I think, oh, the food is, you know, lacking or anything like that. Especially after not being able to reload the ship. Like the food's been fresh every single day, so I don't know how they do it, but amazing. And the shows were just amazing as well. So, you know, the staff work tirelessly behind the scenes, and you know they just don't stop. That's it.
And while you're sleeping, this ship is running underground. All right, so let's give you the facts about cruising. If you haven't been on a cruise, or you're thinking about going on one, or you haven't been on a really long one and you might be considering it, these are the facts for you. So one thing we found is cruising can be really cost effective, or it can be really expensive. It's pretty much which way you want to go about it. We probably sat in the middle. Like there's some things that we would pay for, and there's other things that we would go, no, that's actually way too dear.
You won't need it,
yeah. Before you book your cruise, some things to note is do not pay your cruise in full. We found that out after the fact.
Just pay the deposit.
Pay the deposit, and then when your final payment is due, look online to see if your cruise price has gone down, and then contact Royal Caribbean or whatever cruise ship you're on and see if you can get the price matched. Because I guarantee that price will go down.
It's like sometimes can be half price.
The alternative method to that, which a lot of people have told us in the last week, is book your cruise last minute.
It's a bit of twofold. Like if you've got the time to be able to do that and just go, we're going on a holiday next month, then that's great. But if you don't, probably the ideal thing to do is put your deposit down on that particular ship that you want to go on. You've got to lock yourself away. They'll want the final payment at a certain date. I wouldn't even pay that. I would wait. I would wait until you're about 3 months out, and I guarantee you, if there's spare rooms left over, they will drop that price, and you'll get a much better deal.
Okay. Bring foreign currency cash for each port visit. Now this is something that we didn't do. We didn't really look into it properly. We just figured that they would take US dollars, and they did, but we probably got more ripped off.
They rip you.
So get some money out for your shore visits so you're well protected.
Yeah, they still deal with cash. I mean, you can have a travel card. That's a good way to do it, but a lot of places still deal with just cash. Especially if you're just going to get off to a port and then jump in a cab and take off. So
when we got on the ship, we gave our travel card, Visa, MasterCard, to the guest services, and they put that on our account. So anything that we purchase on board goes on our account, and then our credit card is linked to that, and it comes off.
It'll come off at the end of the trip.
Yeah. So or you can pay it off throughout.
As you go, You can go down to guest services and say, listen, can I put $100 on my account or whatever?
Yeah, in cash or card. But with the travel card, it's already got the US dollars on there. So if you just put your normal credit card on, then you're going to be charged foreign exchange rates.
At the rate. And the rate has gone up since we've left Australia. Just have your travel card with a bit of US dollars on there. You can transfer it back and forth when you like, and that way you can nominate, okay, well the Australian dollar's down to 50 cents, I'll transfer my US dollars back to Australian dollars, and then I'll get good value for money.
Another tip is, and we mentioned to take US dollars out at the start of the trip for tipping, but also just take a stash of cash anyway, because I took out $200, or we both took out 200 US cash from the ATM on board. Now we took it out of our travel card so we don't get charged any foreign exchange rates, but we got charged the ATM fee, and the ATM fee was $6.95 US dollars. So when you go to the ATM in Melbourne or Australia and you put your card in, you get
$3,
you know, a $2.50 charge or whatever. That's okay, but $7 US is absurd. So not only did we get charged that, then we got a $3 charge from our travel card in Australian dollars. You get ripped, so you're better off having some cash with you. And the reason we took that money out was to go to Vanuatu. So
which we didn't
end up going.
But never mind.
All right, a balcony room. Troy's touched on that. It is worth the cost if you have a lot of days at sea.
Yeah, long cruises, I would suggest a balcony.
We loved it.
You can always get a bit of fresh air. You can wake up in the morning and see what the weather conditions are. They do have rooms that have virtual televisions, so which is not bad. It's actually real time of outside, and you just turn the TVs on and that shows you outside, but you won't get that experience of fresh air.
Yeah, you physically can't go outside. You can just see what the weather is, and or if there's land outside, which is still good.
Or maybe on a 7-day cruise, it's probably worth your money doing that.
Yeah.
Because a 7-day cruise, you're always going to be out and about watching shows and doing stuff. We had 18 days, so we spent and plus we got pretty sick, so we spent a fair bit of time having to rest and sleep, and just sitting out in the balcony getting fresh air. So.
Yeah, it's really good. Like, even you'd see when we got to Tahiti, I was out on the balcony, so excited to see land and the sunrise and stuff. So we definitely got the value out of booking the balcony on this trip.
100%.
But on a trip of less than maybe 10 days, we might just go in interior cabin. The internet package.
This one, this is it's obviously run by Starlink now, so the internet connection is quite good, apart from uploading videos. So if you don't upload videos, that doesn't really matter, but uploading videos, some of them took like 27 hours to upload. General, speaking with family and friends on FaceTime, fine. Everywhere on the ship, didn't really cut out at all. It was really good, and we found having both internet packages really good because of our work and what we do as vloggers. But $500 per person Australian, that's what it costs. If you don't pre-book that, when you get on board, a lot of people have turned around and gone, oh look, I really want the internet, so they end up buying per day, and it ends up $25 US per day per device. So if you and your partner both want it, that's $50 US.
We got the internet package so on both our devices, so Troy could have it on his phone and check his emails and stay in touch with Harrison and his dad and stuff, and I got it on my laptop essentially to do our video editing and upload videos and respond to comments and things. So that worked really well. What we didn't know was that you can actually switch devices. So I would use it on my laptop, but then when we'd go to the pool or walk around the ship, I'd change the device back to my mobile. So I'd always have the internet with me.
You can chop and change. Obviously, if we just got one device, it would have cost us $500 opposed to $1,000.
Yeah.
And we would have been able to go, you check your emails and Laura socials or whatever, and then I do the same. The only downside for us would be when we're trying to upload a video and it's taking 27 hours, we can't contact any family or friends or anything like that.
Because we can't pause the upload.
Yeah, it's got to.
So we've just got to run it. If we're going on a 10-day cruise, we probably only get one device.
That's right.
And we can get around that. Which brings me to the drinks package. So, we're both having a drink at the moment. Now, if you thought the internet package was expensive, wait till you hear about what we paid for the drinks package.
Well, we actually got the drinks package reasonably cheap because once again on the app, before you hop on board, like 3 months prior, you check what the drinks package will cost, and it gets up to about $135 per day US.
Yeah,
And
Australian.
I waited and chopped and changed and ended up getting it for $114
Yeah.
Australian, and I figured, well, for 18 days that's a lot. Like, I wouldn't normally drink 18 days straight, like anywhere, but I figured, you know, we're going to be on the ship a lot. I don't want to be watching my account all the time, you know, buy so many drinks or whatever. So you've got to roughly have over 6 drinks worth of about $15 a day. Covers Coke, coffee, bottles of water. So we figured, oh, well, you know, I drink coffee in the morning. Coffee is probably about $5 a coffee. What tends to happen is you'll drink more because you know you've already paid for it.
Yeah.
So I was having cocktails. I would never drink cocktails. So I was drinking cocktails just for the sake of drinking cocktails. And about day probably 5, plus we got sick.
Yeah.
So probably day 5, I was like, oh, you know what? I would never get the drinks package again.
No.
Yeah.
Moral of the story is, don't get the drinks package. Just put the cash away as to what you think you will consume on the trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can weigh it up yourself. I just don't think it's really worth it. And like I said, you end up drinking more than what you normally would. And then you just drink for the sake of drinking.
Yeah. Stairs. Use the stairs and not the lifts.
Yeah, we
drilled this into me.
If you can, if you're able to use the stairs, it's a pain, but you eat that much, you drink that much, and you'll also find the elevators get chocked with people. It's jam packed, and it's easy to get sick on cruises, as everyone knows.
So we use the stairs a lot and not the lifts. We'd use the lifts if we were really tired or sore or whatever, or sick. But we would also aim to walk at least 10,000 steps a day. So that's the key to cruising. Make use of the walking track when you can.
Be active.
Yeah, you're walking through the ship as much as possible during the day.
Yeah.
All right, be prepared for bad weather. So make the most of every sunny day. And today is a good example. So we're heading towards Queensland. The sun rises a lot earlier here than in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I was up at 7:30 sunbaking on the top deck because the sun was out and it was our last day. And
this is what Laura does when she gets up. She goes like this. I'll show you. So I'll be fast asleep. Like,
you're not fast.
I'll be fast asleep, and Laura goes, "Oh, darling, it's a beautiful day. Are you coming up to the pool deck?" And I'll be like, "Oh my God." And I'm getting married to her.
It is a bit like that. It's not that exaggerated, but
Oh, it is. It feels like that.
I only opened the curtain a little bit. Anyway, you don't know when the sun's going to go away, and the sun can go away for days, and then that can really change your attitude.
Which probably brings me to, I don't know where we're at there, but when you go out for dining, 100% go and dine with other people. You get the choice whether you want to dine by yourself or dine with a group of people. That's one of the greatest parts about this cruise. We've met some amazing people who'll be friends for life, and we've also gained that much knowledge of people that have done it before. They've done cruises all around the world, and they say do this and do that and don't go here and go there.
Different cruise lines, different ships, different ports. So, you know, we're talking to people last night and they go, don't go back to Tahiti, go to Hawaii, so much better.
Yeah. And when he said that, I was like, you're actually right.
Yeah.
100% you're right.
Right, sails. Okay, it's the last day of the cruise. My God, if I took the camera downstairs, you'd be surprised of how many people are shopping right now. The last few days of the cruise, there's heaps of sales at the retail shops and also at the day spa. So I got a special the other day just to get my hair washed and blow dried for $69 US. Now that might sound a lot to you guys, but on the app it's like 100 and
yeah. Like massage.
50.
If you want a massage, it's $300.
Yeah, it's just stupid prices.
Seriously.
So wait till the last week of the cruise and you'll find heaps of really good deals.
Yeah, don't buy things straight away.
No.
Watches and all that sort of stuff. Just hold off.
Yeah.
You know, what they do have specials all through the cruise, so don't buy things on the first day because you're excited.
Well, another tip for dinner is get to know your waiters, and they will give you hot tips, and they will also give you discounts to the specialty restaurants.
Yeah. So when you find a good waiter, try to stick to that table. because the staff are just unbelievable.
Yeah,
so
they are.
quick shout out to Eugene and Jay on
Yeah.
our table. 414. You
Still-
guys were amazing. My drink was never empty. They're so friendly. Nothing
Yeah.
was a problem. They'd change a meal for you. You could have 2 or 3 entrees. You could have a couple of mains if you wanted. Like, just beautiful, lovely, hard-working people. So thanks, guys. Another thanks to Edward at Wonderland.
Yes.
You were amazing.
And Wyan.
Wyan.
Yep.
And also, while I'm thanking people, thanks to Coffee, our new room attendant, because we moved rooms. Just bloody hard workers, and I really respect that. They just, and nothing's a problem. Always got a smile on their face, so that really makes the trip. So Royal Caribbean, if you're watching, keep those guys employed because they're bloody great assets.
Yeah, that's all the facts about cruising. If you've got any questions, just put them in the comments and we'll come back to you. But now we will give you the figures, give you some perspective about drinks prices. A bourbon and Coke cost me $11.50 US, which is $18.40 Australian for one of those. Okay, take that into account. A cocktail costs $15 US. It's $24 Australian. All right. The cruise cost us $5,345 for the 2 of us. Drinks package $2,087. The internet package $999. And we spent, probably including today, maybe $1,500 US on the ship. Now that was a real surprise. We never expected to spend any money on the ship because we weren't going to buy anything.
But we've spent a lot of time on here, so.
But we got sucked in. Okay, and we bought my wedding ring,
Someone got
which
sucked in.
was half the cost of that. All up, the cruise has cost us just under 10 grand.
When you think about it, with all those things included, all your 3 meals a day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, your drinks on top of that, try to go around the world.
That's it. We've
With that-
gone to 3 countries.
With that sort of, you know, I understand the weather hasn't been that great, but in saying that also, Royal Caribbean, which I personally didn't think they had to do this, but they refunded a full day back each.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't go to all the ports that we were supposed to go to.
Hence why I'm going shopping.
So I was like, you know, the weather, you can't control the weather. That's what I was going to talk about as well. Sorry, I just had a thought.
So what happened was we went to Tahiti, right? You can't snorkel at Tahiti, right? So you'll see in the video all these tour guides smashing you as you get off the boat to sell you their tour.
Which I'd highly recommend to do that. Don't necessarily have to get the tour from the ship. The tour from the ship is going to cost you 3 times the amount. But what they do on the first port, they'll try to sell you for tickets for Maria and Ratea. So if you pre-book those, because most people go, oh yeah, well, we're going to be there tomorrow. The unfortunate thing is, if you don't get there like we didn't, you can't get your money back.
Yeah. Anyway, we better wrap this up.
That's all done and dusted. Always, thanks again for tuning in.
Yeah.
If you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe, share to your friends. We'd love to have you on board to take you guys around Australia very shortly.
Yeah, we can't wait for that. So we'll see you when we're back in Melbourne.
Bye for now.
Bye guys. We're leaving, and if you think we had a lot of luggage at Hawaii, oh my god, wait till you see us leaving this place. Well, you've actually packed away the flippers and that, which is good.
I definitely think we're going to be overweight.
Alright, we're off. Looks like most people are checked out.